So there you have it, man. We've drawn a game, and I have to say it feels like a loss, to be honest with you. We started the game very well. I was very impressed in the first half in terms of the way we dealt with Wolves. We nullified them. They sat back. We made them poor in possession. We hurried them where we could, pressed well, and we took our goal well. Rashford with the assist for Martial as well. That was a brilliant bit of play from those two. We didn't create for the dominance that we had in midfield and in the game in general. I don't feel that we created enough. That is the one big thing that I had from the first half, where I looked at it and thought, do you know what? For our dominance, Patricio hasn't really had to work. But we're 1-0 goal to the good. We're going at half-time very confident, and I feel, I think it's Traore, when he's come on for Wolves, he's changed the game for them on Luke Shaw's side. And as soon as we kicked off, Lingard gave the ball away straight away, and it kind of set the tone. Wolves played good for about 10 minutes in that second half. Look, the goal from Neves was sensational. Just looking over my shoulder, ready for that guy with the flipping shirt. He's not here now. The goal was sensational from Neves, and what can you do? And that's why I'm even more frustrated, because that's all Wolves really had, and they hit the post as well. So on the balance of it, technically they had 2 chances, we had 2 chances. And we were the more dominant team. So we've got to look at ourselves there, and it just highlighted the problems that we're going to have in midfield in terms of creative, because it isn't there. The gilt-edged chances for the fast players that we have, it's not there. There are some positives to take from that. We were comfortable at the back. The fact that Maguire's in there, the fact that Wan-Bissaka's in there, it gives that calming influence. We know that. And I'm very happy with that. De Gea didn't have anything to do, and he could do absolutely nothing about the goal. So I'm happy about that. That's a good platform for us to go forward. But what we've seen today is kind of what we knew would happen. Yes, on a different day, we actually win that game, so we've got to keep it into perspective. There are positives from the game. But what we knew would happen is the fact that we're relying on clinicalness in every moment. Against Chelsea, every shot we had went in. And that was the aim of that was the name of that game. Every single chance we had went in. And I feel like we need to rely on that. And over 38 games, you can't rely on that. You can't rely on only having 3 chances a game and having to score 3, or only having 2, only scoring 2. That would be fantastic if we can, but in reality, we know that's not going to be able to happen. So for me, what we saw was a dominant performance for the most part of it, but undone by a world-class goal. And look, the penalty situation, look, I don't know why we have this policy of no penalty taker. For me, the striker takes the penalty. Everyone's pretty much said it on the fan cams. Rashford, for how poorly I feel he played over the course of the game, he did well for Martial's goal, but apart from that, I thought he was very poor today. He has to take the penalty. He was poor even against PSG. Pressure, sticks it in the top bins. Chelsea, pressure, first game of the season, first chance of the season, goal. He has to take the penalties. I don't care, or give them to Tony Martial, number 9 on the back. Let him take the penalties. For me, I know we could be sitting here if Pogba scores and say, oh, it would be a different story. So I know you could argue that I'm only saying it because he missed. But for me, I just want to see the same guy take the penalties every single game until he misses a couple in a row. Pogba's penalty record's not great. It's not great. I don't know exactly what it is, but, excuse me, I can seem to remember him missing quite a few penalties, to be honest. Last season as well. So I think we've got to get that sorted. I've heard someone say that Oli said in his post-match comments, in the post-match presser, that that's our policy. There isn't going to be a penalty taker, and I think that's completely wrong. I think he's got to do that. I think he's got to have someone as the main penalty taker. So look, it's a hard one to take. It feels like a loss. I keep forgetting that we have actually drawn, because it feels like a loss. But at the end of the day, it's a draw. At least we can get this one out of the way early. It's early in the season. What does worry me, which we've said from pre-season, we've said from the transfer window, I don't want to go into it too much because we've got what we've got. But what does worry me is I think we're going to see a lot more performances like that, where we're dominant on the ball in terms of having possession. But when it comes to it, I don't think we're going to have that gilt-edged midfield, the players that are going to create chance after chance. I don't feel we're going to do that, and we're going to have to rely on Martial, who played very well today, in my opinion. Especially first half, he looked after the ball fantastically well, moved the Wolves defenders about the best he could, got into good positions, and obviously took his goal well, and that's 2-2 for him. So that's a positive. Getting him on the run is going to be crucial because he's going to be our main guy. Rashford needs to improve his performance levels. I thought he was poor today, if I'm honest. Jesse, first half, I thought he was okay, picking up some good positions. He travelled well with the ball, but as the game went on, I thought he faded as well. Dan James, I want to talk about him because a lot of people are saying that he's better as an impact player. They didn't want to see him from the start. I have to say, I looked at the team and I thought it was a good team to start with. It's good that Ollie's staying with this direction. No Smalling, no Jones in the team. Young nowhere to be seen, Matic nowhere to be seen, and Bolton matter too late. And I'll talk about the substitutions in a bit. But I like that. The Daniel James thing is going to be good. How you doing, James? The Daniel James thing is going to be very interesting because at the end of the day, it's going to be easy to say he's going to be that impact player because he's come on against Chelsea and he's done the business. He's done the business there. I thought towards the end of the game he was tiring. I was so shocked that Solskjaer brought on those guys so late. I just didn't understand why they came on so late. The likes of Mason Greenwood, he's put his neck on the line, Ollie, and said he's a better finisher naturally than Martial and a better finisher than Rashford. So I want to see him get more game time. He's got to get more game time. I don't understand it, really. He said with Lukaku leaving as well, that was a pathway for Greenwood. So I don't understand why he's only played 6 or 7 minutes here at Molineux in a game where we needed that extra little bit. But at the end of the day, it's a draw. Tough place to come to. We got battered twice here last season with some horrific mistakes. At least those mistakes have been ironed out. I'm very confident in this back four. Maguire, the calming influence. Basaka, another good game. So there are positives, but I think you guys will echo this. This result will feel like a loss. Having a penalty after getting pegged back to a drawing position, having a penalty to go 2-1, you're always going to feel like that it's a loss. But we've got to take positives from it. Thanks for watching. Big thank you to you guys for watching the latest of our videos, and if you want to check out more, make sure you do that just to the right of me. We are the biggest and best Manchester United channel in the world. Make sure you check us out on all of the socials as well: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. The socials are along the bottom. Peace.